is Valley News Live at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. Here's a look at today's top 4 at 4. A Becker County man is in jail after a teen girl says she endured years of sexual abuse. 68-year-old Terry Harrison of Frazee is charged with 2 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct. Court documents say a 13-year-old told the Becker County Sheriff's Office that Harrison had been touching her since she was 6 or 7. Harrison admitted to touching the girl when he was confronted by her mother. If convicted, he faces up to 60 years in prison. We're learning more about a gas station robbery that shut down multiple blocks of North University Drive on Friday. Court documents say 28-year-old Peter Palmer stormed into Bjornson's and lifted his shirt to reveal a gun in his waistband, demanding money. After taking off into a nearby neighborhood, Palmer called 911 and turned himself in. Officers searched his apartment and found a wad of money on his bed, as well as 3 guns in the closet. It turns out the gun used in the robbery was just a BB gun. Cass County Sheriff's deputies will start wearing body cameras this week. The Cass County Sheriff tells us the cameras will increase transparency and hold deputies to higher standards. He says, quote, "I'm very excited for the opportunities and safeguards this camera system will provide our community and deputies." West Fargo police say they're seeing a decrease in crime as the city continues to grow. The new crime report just released today shows an overall 2% decrease in crime in the city since 2019. Violent crimes are down 11%. The West Fargo police chief says the decrease in criminal activity is a testament to the continued partnership between the community and police department. You can view the full crime report for the city right on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story. Now here's a first look at our weather with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Hutch.
Stacy, thanks so much. As we head into our evening hours, we're seeing a lot of the same thing as we did yesterday. Here's a look at the Dakota Magic Casino and on grassy areas and, well, in farmland. We got some accumulation of light snow that continues on and off in our southern valley counties. More of this energy is focused in and around the Sioux Falls area, but in our neck of the woods, mainly along and south of Highway 200, we do have some snow showers. So northern Cass, Barnes, and Stutzman County seeing passing snow showers that could coat the roads mainly with a layer of wet and maybe a little light accumulation on grassy areas. Elsewhere, just flurries from Edgeley and Oaks out towards Lisbon into our evening hours. So here's a look at temperatures, and our main concern this evening is because we're hovering near freezing. Bridges, overpasses, sidewalks are going to become slippery in places. So give it time. I don't expect much in the way of accumulation. Tonight in Grand Forks, you can see cloudy skies there as well with hit and miss spits and temperatures near 30. Coming up, we'll have details on a nice warm up, and it all begins, Stacy, tomorrow. We'll tell you how warm we get, and we're eyeballing our next potential wintry weather maker, and we'll let you know when that is here in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Hutch.
You bet.
If you're looking to get your COVID vaccine in Clay County, some important information. Clay County Public Health is now offering the vaccine to certain essential workers with appointments available this week. The workers are included in Phase 1B Tier 3. The health department is now offering the vaccine to employees of manufacturing and food processing plants, agricultural workers, postal workers, gas station employees, food service employees, and grocery store employees. Moderna is now studying its coronavirus vaccine in children. The trial is testing the safety and efficacy of the 2-dose vaccine in children from 6 months to 11 years old. Moderna says it plans to enroll more than 6,700 kids in the U.S. and Canada. Moderna announced in December that it's testing the vaccine in adolescents between 12 and 17. More European countries are suspending their use of AstraZeneca's COVID vaccine. More than a dozen countries have now suspended use of that vaccine, including Germany, France, and Italy. Regulators in the UK insist there's no link between the vaccine and a higher incidence of blood clots. AstraZeneca says a review of 17 million people in Europe who have received the vaccine found less than 40 developed blood clots, which is, in their words, even lower than you'd expect to find in the general population. Government, medicine, and the faith community are working together to fight back against vaccine hesitancy. The COVID vaccination effort has been met with resistance for many reasons, whether it's distrust in communities of color or among certain political persuasions or religious beliefs. As Natalie Brand explains, faith leaders say they're in a unique position to help build confidence.
We all share responsibility in this moment.
Canon Leonard Hamlin Sr. of Washington National Cathedral says that includes faith leaders, a community playing an increasingly important role in helping to vaccinate the public, from hosting clinics at churches to tackling reasons for reluctance.
That can be history, it can be experience that they have personally, stories that they have been told, it can be the beliefs that they share. But we have an opportunity to address them all.
Canon Hamlin invited Dr. Anthony Fauci and National Institutes of Health Director Dr. Francis Collins to the cathedral Tuesday night, along with other faith leaders, to help the effort. As part of the push, 25 interfaith clergy from across the Washington, D.C. area will be vaccinated on camera to help spread the message and build trust.
One of the main things that we know is that all of the messaging can't come centrally from health authorities.
Dr. Lisa Maragakis of Johns Hopkins says vaccine hesitancy has increased over the last several years.
Many people are hesitant about vaccines, but social media and the availability of pathways to disseminate misinformation has accelerated.
It's yet another challenge as doctors aim to vaccinate at least 75% of the population to begin to reach immunity.
You've been vaccinated.
Yes.
Community leaders like Canon Hamlin serving as a model.
This, as many often say, is an opportunity, especially for faith leaders, to practice what we preach.
And an example of how faith, science, and politics can work together to fight the pandemic. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
The Biden administration says it's been meeting with conservative groups, faith leaders, and nonprofits to help bolster vaccination efforts across communities of color and in rural areas. U.S. representatives are opting to not get the vaccine, some of them. In a letter, Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy makes a case to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi for the chamber to return to regular order, stating that about 75% of the House's 435 members have been vaccinated or will be by the end of this week, leaving about 25% who say they won't be getting their shots. Democrats have said more representatives need to be vaccinated in order to return to regular business. To stay on top of the latest COVID vaccine-related information, use our VNL vaccine tracker. It's right on the homepage of our website, or you can open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. People and communities decimated by the opioid crisis are set to receive more than $10 billion in a bankruptcy settlement plan filed by Purdue Pharma. The plan makes funds available for opioid abatement programs, personal injury trusts, and it plunges all of Purdue's assets into a new company dedicated to addressing the opioid crisis. Purdue, the maker of OxyContin, is owned by the Sackler family. The settlement plan calls for the family to relinquish ownership and their future involvement in pharmaceutical companies. More than 4,000 unaccompanied children were in Border Patrol custody as of Sunday afternoon. That's about 1,000 more than last week. Of the nearly 4,300 kids being held on Sunday, nearly 3,000 had been in custody longer than the 72-hour legal limit, creating a backlog in Border Patrol stations. FEMA is quickly building decompression centers in Dallas and Midland, Texas, to get children out of Border Patrol custody. The Biden administration says the U.S. is on pace to reach the highest number of people encountered at the border in 2 decades. Police in Coon Rapids, Minnesota say officers shot an armed man last night who was having mental health issues. Police say a relative of the 26-year-old man called 911 to report that he was suicidal and walking to another home with a handgun in his waistband. When officers responded to that home, they say the man was outside holding the gun in distress. When he refused to put it down, officers say they deployed a less than lethal beanbag shotgun. He still refused. That's when 2 officers fired their guns. The Coon Rapids police chief says the man was taken to the hospital in stable condition. No word on how he's doing this afternoon. The city of Moorhead is bringing back Cleanup Week this year. It'll take place over 2 weeks, starting May 3rd and ending on the 14th. Your pickup day depends on your recycling schedule. For a list of when your junk can be picked up and what is accepted, find this story on your VNL News app. Get ready to sail away at the Red River Valley Fair this summer. Styx will headline the grandstand on Sunday, July 11th. The fair runs from July 9th through the 18th. Other acts include Chris Young and Trace Adkins, to name a few. And it's a big week for North Dakota College football. Fans up and down the Red River Valley. NDSU is taking on UND Saturday at the Fargo Dome. The pregame show starts at 1:30. Kickoff is set for 2:30. As always, we have the best seat in the house for you on KVLY.
Harry has talked to his brother, and he has talked to his father, too.
Coming up on Valley News Live at 4, why Harry is reportedly rushing to reconcile with his family.
Once again, temperatures warmest near the international border, near 40 degrees there in Roseau County today. Storm system exited Colorado, still delivering weather there through our neck of the woods, the East Coast, and now the Gulf Coast. Your hour-by-hour forecast is coming up next.